feels like you're living a lie, you know? It's miserable being in a body that's not your body. Like, I used to wonder, why was I born with these parts, and why is it that I'm born with the male part but mentally it's female? It's miserable having to have to like live your life mentally somebody and physically being somebody else. Quinn was my born male name given at birth. You know, a person that I learned to, I guess, grow and love for who he was. But in reality, deep down inside, you know, it seemed like it was two different people. You know, you look in the mirror and I see Quinn, but deep down inside, I feel and see Nia. My name is Nia Sarong. I am 30 years old and a transgender woman. I knew something was different with me when I was 7 years old. At that time, I was very confused and pushed myself to be man and woman, but in reality, I knew that that's not what I wanted to be. I knew in reality, I was the woman inside versus the man.
I knew Quinn was different growing up. I would say since we were young, he would always do different things versus what some of us other kids were doing.
She's 7 or 8 years old, and I had her in sports, and she got hurt in football, as we were saying. But I also realized she was very pretty. She was feminine a little bit. And, you know, I had a feeling, okay, it's just the way she is. But as she got older, you can tell some of those things that she used to do.
I knew something was different with my sister. Just the little things that she did. The makeup and the way she talked, walked, and that was mostly what got to me. And I knew she was gay at the time. I knew since I was probably in 5th grade is when she told me.
I first identified as a gay male, yes, because that's what I was feeling inside, and I thought that maybe by me seeing another male, being attracted to male is which made me gay in a sense. But as time went by and being involved with male and in the gay lifestyle, I realized that that really was not the case. Like, I felt that I really wasn't gay. I felt inside that I was just a woman trapped in a man's body, and that my life was meant to be a girl. Well, the first thing I did was to find the easiest way out, which had been Halloween, right? The easiest way is to like dress up. That's quick. No one's gonna question nothing. They'll think it's funny, blah blah blah, in a sense, right? Nothing wrong about it. But as time went by, I learned being in the gay scene that there are drag queens, and the drag queens were out there. So that was my escape route. I started dressing up and going to the drag clubs, to going to the scenes, doing performances, and as those things went on, I noticed it got stronger feelings for myself. I knew every time, like when I was dressed up and I was performing or I was out, I felt so beautiful. I felt so wonderful. My life felt complete. Like, I knew that that was me. And the moment, you know, the makeup comes off and I'm at home, it's like, it's a complete change. Like, it went from being happy to completely sad, to being depressed, to like yearning to you know, put that face back on, yearning to put those clothes back on, get out there again. And that's the moment I knew, like, that is where I needed to be. Like, that's how it started. And so little by little, I snuck out, well, dress up, till I hit that point where I just got rid of all my clothes and had nothing but girl clothes. And I forced myself into it. Basically, I forced myself into being me. Like, instead of doing it part time and being sneaky about it, I figured, why do that, and why not just put it all out there and be who I am, and just, who cares, just face the world, you know, head on, like how it is, instead of like hide myself, because that's what everybody seems like everybody wants everybody to do, is hide themselves. And I just couldn't do it no more. I was too depressed and too happy, you know, I mean, too unhappy, and I needed to finally just let it out and let it go.
That way, at that time, you wonder, well, maybe it's just on your head. Well, when you go through this for a while and you realize it, like you tell me that there's a woman trapped in my body. I'm a woman trapped in a man's body. I said, well, are you sure? And she said, yes. And I go, okay. Well, okay. And I hugged her and hugged her like I always did. I said, I love you anyway, no matter what you decide you're gonna do, but it's gonna be tough. And I'm telling you that right now.
I knew it was going to be challenging in Quinn's life. Just the way, you know, at that time, it wasn't accepted as much as it is now. And but I was here to support, and always had Quinn's back if needed.
Every time I went out with her, like basically to the mall, that's the main thing that I hate, when people are just staring. It just, you could hear under there just saying something, and that's just, I hated that. But eventually when she started to be a girl, it really just, everything went away.
They basically had to learn how to like revolve around loving this new person. You know, they didn't want to get rid of Quinn or know that Quinn was no longer going to be there. But it was the fact of them learning to grow and love who Nia is and what Nia is all about. And I think when I got my implants, that was kind of a huge eye opener, a huge break for them, because like it was like kind of like a shock that my body was like changed. It was different. Like now they see it, you know, like you see one thing, but to really see a form and see a difference in your child's body, you've learned to see that person for like what they are and who they are. And I think as time went by, it's easy for them to accept and learn to love and grow and accept it.
I saw a difference in Nia um, and her life, and I'm very happy for Nia and the courage that she has in accepting herself and showing who she is.
When I see her now and she's dressed up real pretty, I brag about it. I show people pictures of her. I say, look how pretty she is. I go, that's my daughter. You know, and people are like amazed, like, really, that's your daughter? I go, yes. And I tell them, she changed from a man to a woman. And, you know, look how beautiful she is.
I would say now, though there's moments just seeing her get married, that really was, I would say, a sign of like accomplishment for Nia.
When I first met Nia, my first impression was I was blown by her beauty. Of course, what? So then she was like an all-around person where like we could relate on a whole bunch of things we talk about, same interests and stuff. So it just caught my attention. I guess, you know, somewhat in my heart, when I saw a picture, I'm like, this girl's so beautiful. I was like, I want to marry her. So you kind of somewhat say love at first sight.
She get married and she has a family, and it's like, I was so happy for her. Like, cool. You finally got what you wanted. You got your family, you got a husband, you know, you got married. I'm so proud of you, I'm glad. I'm glad that she did that, and it was like, to me, that was the best thing.
Maybe it's not going to happen because of my transgender being different, you know, and then, you know, I say like, you know, God graced me to meet my husband at that time, and we just hit it off great. Like things were wonderful. Like come to find out, you know, he had a daughter, and for me, he was afraid to tell me to see if he didn't know if I wanted to stay in a relationship like that or not. For me, like that was awesome. All I can think about is like, wow, everything's coming together. I have this great man who does, you know, treats me so nice and it's the world to me. And then he has a daughter. What's even better than that? You know, that's the family that I can see myself in.
I did have a brother, and now I do have a sister. I'm so used to calling her Quinn all the time, and people just like, why do you call her that? I'm so used to that name that today I still do it. I don't call her Nia. She's still Quinn to me, but she's a woman, and it's the best feeling I could ever have is to have a sister now.
That was, like I said, that was my baby. I adored her when she was a baby, and I adore her now. Okay? It never changed on me. It never changed when you spoke and you said, hey, Dad, I'm gay. Okay, so what does that mean? Does that mean I stop talking to you? Does that mean I'm going to hate you? No.
Because as far as I'm concerned, you know, she's still a person, whether she's transgender or not, you know, I still love her. And it could be a boy or girl, whatever. It didn't change my mentality of how I felt about her.
You know, a lot of times when I sit and think about things and think about what I went through and the hard times that I struggled, I can honestly sit here and look back and laugh, you know, but in the end, like, I'm happy about everything. I'm happy where my life is. I'm happy with my husband, my child, my family, everybody behind me that supports me, my friends, you know, everybody that's been there. And, you know, most of all, the best thing about my life and to be fully blessed about is I'm happy who I am. I'm happy being me.